Health and wellness are more than a destination. They are a process and a journey of personal choice. Come hear from people out in the field, doing the work, bringing health and wellness to many.
Hello, everyone. I am so delighted to introduce Dulsanea Naedek. She is an animal psychic, or what she calls animal communicator. I met Dulsa in a very, very intense moment for myself. I can just be honest here. I lost my dog, Chloe, who was with me and our whole family for 15 and a half years. She was an incredible dog. We loved her so much. And I was in so much pain because she was suffering at the end, and I had a lot of turmoil in letting her go. And Dulce really helped me. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, Dulce, because you are so gifted, and your words and how you were able to talk to Chloe. You know, the funny thing is, as a healer, and I have psychic abilities too, I can do this with anyone else. But when it came to Chloe, I just couldn't do it.
There's a reason why. And even for other animal communicators, as well as people that are learning to talk with their animals, it's different. The reason why is because of your emotional attachment. And sometimes our emotions get in the way or block the abilities, the intuitiveness, the senses, whichever sixth sense you're using to get the information.
Yeah, this is what happened for sure, because I was so not able. I was just missing her for like months. It was crazy. But thank you, Dulce. So tell me a little bit about yourself and the work you do with animals. You help so many people.
Thank you. So, wow, where do I start? Well, I am a cat mama. Yes, I've had dogs throughout my life, but for the past, I'd say 20 years, I've had a lot of cats. And right now in-house, I have 6 amazing cats that have total control over me. And then I care for a cattery or a colony of feral semi-domesticated, and one who is in particularly is domesticated, but he's still in the feral community slash laundry room. He has his own suite, if you will. So I am around a lot of animals on a daily basis. And that's one aspect of my personal as well as my professional life, because I am able to talk with them. And like I was sharing with you earlier, a couple of minutes ago, can I talk with my own animals? Yeah, but the information comes through a little differently. It comes through with more of, oh, that's what you wanted. It's like really quick. The other thing is I haven't been doing this my entire life, but I've been communicating with animals for over 10 years now. But prior to that, as a child, that's when I was like, wow, I'm talking to animals and all the humans around me think I'm nuts, including my family. So as I got older, that actually dampened down. And then eventually when, getting into school and, that whole arena of socialization, it really was gone. It was suppressed. But what then happened in 2013, I was caring for one of our family cats. His name is Fulligan, very ill, and nobody in the family except me. Actually, they all came to me and said, "Would you please care for him?" It's like, "Of course. Why do you even have to ask?" I knew I'd be doing that because he told me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's starting to happen." But when I really wanted to go deeper with him and really figure out what he wanted, because I was so emotionally attached to the circumstance and watching him, seeing his body, not heal. Um, I hired an animal communicator. I was like, somebody suggested to do that. And I'm like, oh my God, duh, right? And in that session, not only did I hear him, I felt him, I heard his words, I heard what he was telling the animal communicator. I was like, wow. Fulligan, thank you so much. I mean, that session just gave me such relief, information, confirmation that this is real. as well as he told me, he said, listen, you need to be doing this. You need to be practicing, but please don't name your business full again. Nobody will get that. He's so funny. He's still with me and he always watches my that's him. Um, but the point being is that I understood his wishes. He told me, yeah, you guys are going to be talking about euthanasia. And I was like, yeah, they've already started doing that. And that it's okay. We need to do this. I've already seen it. I know exactly when, I know the day, I know the time, and just be gentle with everyone in the family. Allow them to voice their opinions and their thoughts about it, because everyone will come together and say, yeah, we'll bring. At the time we had a vet that came to the house, and that was part of their service, and that's what we did. So, and I got to tell you, because it is such an emotional time, not just for me and my family, but everyone who goes through this, it's also a time to be in grace and to really be of gratitude and experience a deeper connection. And I was able to do that. I was able to talk with him all through the process, and that allowed me to actually support my family that was going through this. I could support them in the process, and it was powerful. And I felt him. I felt him leave the physical body. I felt his energy leave the physical body, and he actually went into his human who I was carrying. He came to me, he says, "Oh, would you please take care of Bully?" And I was like, "Of course." Because they're so connected, I could feel him go right into his guy's heart center. And it was so beautiful. It was just so beautiful. So that since then, I've been, I said, I have to up my game. I'm going to do this. And I've been doing this since 2000, actually beginning of 2014. So it's 10 years. And I've also interjected offering reike healing, but whether I'm offering reike or I'm talking with an animal, it's kind of like you get the package deal. You get the healing energy.
You get the information about that.
Oh my God, the information comes through. It really does. It's very powerful. So that's a little bit about me and how I started.
So how exactly, like besides obviously you helped me once Chloe had passed, right? And we'll get to that. But tell me how else you can help animals, because there must be a million things that people contact you for.
Oh my goodness, yes. Animal communication is extremely powerful. Regardless if the animal has a behavioral issue or is going through a physical imbalance or an emotional imbalance, or the human is struggling because of the passing, like yourself, sweetie, of Kathleen, going through that process of the grieving, any and all of these types of issues, even trauma, either whether trauma that occurred that the animal went through or trauma that the human went through, whether the animal's physically with them or not. When humans get this information that their animal is sharing with them, it changes everything. First and foremost, it creates such an energetic bond of connection. Again, especially for the animal that's in spirit, but for the animal that's physically here in their home or has been rehomed and is still in the body, doesn't matter. The human has a sense of relief. Then going beyond that, when you're dealing with behavioral issues or trauma issues, it's more than likely a reflection of what's going on in the human's life. So again, it gives the human the ability to understand, oh, that's why my cat is peeing all over the place, because I'm a basket case. I'm not grounded. My thoughts are everywhere. I'm not home that much. I come in, I go out. I don't really talk to my cat that much. I don't explain what's going on. They have no clue what my day's like. I leave for work 6 in the morning. I come home at 12 at night. I was just giving you an example.
But it's such a good example because in like a spiritual sense. Can't what I experience with my dog, but I think it's also with cats because I've had cats in the past when I was a little girl a lot. We lived on a farm, but I feel like they serve us in a way. They're with us. We're so connected, right?
Oh my God, it's an energetic connection. And it starts because this energetic look, we're all full of energy. We are made of energy. Everything on our planet is energy. Our planet is energy, and she is very much alive. So, understanding, when you understand that our animals, our pets, whether domesticated, feral, or not, doesn't matter, they're all energy. They're all energetic beings. They're all intuitive. They're all psychic. They all understand energy. So if we are emotionally distraught and it's ongoing, and that emotion actually becomes our personality, the anxiety, the guilt, the anger, what happens over time is if the animal, while physically in the body, is trying to get their human's attention, they may be showing either physical issues or behavioral issues, but the human's like not getting it. That's where the disease comes into place. Many times, not all the times, and there's circumstances where animals, through the soul contract with their human or humans, they choose to experience these types of imbalances. So your initial question, how does animal communication help a human and help an animal? It helps both the human and animal to come together, to have a connection, an energetic, intuitive connection, to understand why the animals in their life, when they came into their life, what the soul contracts are. We'll talk about that too, I have a feeling. These are the life lessons that we have chosen to experience. We just haven't awoken to that fact. We're still in amnesia. But yeah, before we're incarnated here, our souls have said, you know what, I really want to experience abandonment. I really want to experience amazing wealth. I really want to experience being homeless. I really want to experience, being, having that type of trauma, whatever.
Hard to imagine, right?
It is hard to imagine because we haven't awoken yet. We haven't, we don't come into this world in our form of baby and grow up and go, okay, I know what my soul contract is. We don't think about that. But what we do come into this world is making that choice unconsciously that we are going to have challenges, because what allows all of us to grow? Challenges.
Yeah. And perhaps, Dulsa, in the future, we won't need challenges to grow, but right now we do.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, but right now, on duality, in the duality we have, I want to say, I just have to comment on this. So before I met you, there was a lady who helped me with Chloe years before, and Chloe was limping, and I was just like, and I heal, so I was healing her leg, but it was not helping. And then I contacted that lady, and then she said something like, yeah, Chloe wanted you to give her more attention at the time she hurt her leg. You didn't notice. But it was hard because with small dogs, they sometimes jump and fall, and they do things. Like, she was kind of wild when she was younger. And so I think she did that. She used to jump off the couch, and I would be like, don't do that. And because I knew that that could hurt her leg, and it did. So anyway, and then the minute I found that out, I went to Chloe and I kind of talked to her. I was like, I'm sorry that I didn't recognize that you hurt your leg. And I love you, and I'm going to help you heal that leg. Anyway, and then she healed really fast after that. But it was like, seems like a little thing, right?
But it's not. It's huge. Huge. You mentioned something in there that's very, very important. When you saw Chloe jumping, you intuitively knew, because little dog, small bones, habit of doing this, whatever those thoughts. Don't do that, Chloe. You're going to hurt yourself. Okay.
Yeah, well, because I had been told in Holland, they have doctors, believe it or not, for animals, homeopath that fix the back. And I had gone to this lady to fix Chloe's back because she was having some other issues.
Right.
And this is because she was an older dog. And then the lady's like, don't let her jump from those high places, she told me. So then I was more aware that
Right.
perhaps that wasn't.
But yeah, this is so, this coincides with everything. This is a belief system. You're bringing up a belief system. Oh, this small dogs shouldn't be jumping high or down that way or up that way because blah, 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 blah. So that you have this belief system. So what you naturally are going to do, because you only care for Chloe, you only want the best for Chloe, you're going to, no, don't do that. And what did Chloe do? She kept doing it. Now, I'm going to share with you, this is what I have learned through communicating and talking with animals. They do things, they have behaviors like that so that it gets their humans' attention. But the way to correct it is not to say, and this will help for future, is instead of saying, no, don't do that jump. No, don't climb up that tree. No, don't pee in the box. I mean, don't pee outside the box. No,
Right.
don't be bark at everybody who comes to the door. When we say, no, don't do that, it's in our brain. We have that image of what we're telling our animal not to do. That intuitively is what our animals pick up on. So they're going to continue doing it.
It's sort of like they missed the knot.
The human missed the point. I have a beautiful PDF, a 12 to PDF that I know will be below this video, the link to. And in that PDF, I talk about all types of behavioral issues and how to basic communicate. When I talk a lot, I forget right. How to talk so that your animal will respond accordingly and as opposed to resisting. But here's the bigger picture behind your circumstance with Chloe is that you reversed everything. I'm going to help you heal, Chloe. Now that image, Chloe picked up on, and it was your vibration, your beautiful, loving, compassionate, calm, warmth, unconditional love healing. That's why you both healed.
Literally, I can tell you that our vet said, well, with Chloe has this kind of heart condition at the time, and she said we never saw a dog live so long with a heart condition.
But see, that other thing too is that's a belief system. This is what I talk about in my coaching.
I didn't believe that. I didn't even think that.
Exactly. Thank you. It's like saying, well, you really, like, no, okay, you can believe that. I'm not gonna, downplay what the vet has to say because I respect where they're coming from. That's where they're coming from. That's their belief system. Let them believe whatever they want. I know my animal, I know my dog, and I know she's gonna be with me for however long she needs to, and I need her here, and all is perfect. And you envisioned her heart as being fine. And that's powerful. If we can do that instead of envisioning, oh, my dog is 12 years old. Oh, she's a senior. No, go out and just do whatever you can do and that your dog or cat is willing and loves to do without the thought of, oh no, they're getting to that age.
Even horses, right? Some people have horses.
Everything I'm sharing applies down to talking with frogs, if you will. You've got pet frogs. It doesn't matter the species. It doesn't matter. Cats, dogs, horses, bunnies, birds, snakes.
You have so many behind you. I see giraffes.
Oh yeah, and I have spoken with snakes, all types of rats, gerbils, fish, dolphins. Oh my God, horses, bunnies. I mean, all types of animals, all types of animals, and it doesn't matter. The information comes through regardless. But what we think and feel and what we say matters. I mean, think about it. What we think, feel, and say matters in our everyday world, right? In our work, in our relationships, in, just our to-do list, if you will, in our meditations, in our quiet moments. Why wouldn't it affect our animals and our relationship with them? It does. And I think that's one of the essence of why I love what I do. I love talking with animals. I love helping humans understand the power behind understanding what their fur baby is sharing with them. And it doesn't matter if they're physically here or not.
Okay, so one of the things I think you bring up here that's so important is the behavior. So let's talk before we get into when they die, when they're alive. I think that's really a good place to begin. Their behavior, to understand why, like when they're happy, it's obvious they're happy and everything is going great. But suddenly their behaviors, like you mentioned, they're peeing where they shouldn't pee, or they're going to the bathroom where they shouldn't go to the bathroom. They're like eating up furniture, or they're doing things that they know they shouldn't do. But I think it's some way to tell you something. Like so that's why I would love you to address that, because I figured that out a lot.
It is their way of saying, hello, the environment or you or somebody in the household, the energy is not good. I am here. I live in the moment all the time. I am in the present moment. I'm trying to show you. Please, I'm getting your attention. Slow down, pay attention, get into the space connected with me, and I will show you more. The person is emotionally imbalanced. The stress. I mean, everybody's under stress.
We have a lot more stress than a dog, unless the dog's doing something they don't want to do. Like for instance, when I first had Chloe, I can give you this. She had a breeder who had a lot of dogs, and it was chaos. It was like a circus there. And for the first few years that we would go to America, and the lady would say, "Oh, please bring her. I love her. Would you bring her? And I will watch her." But Chloe did not like to go there. So every time, like, okay, you know how you say they psychically know things?
Intuitively and psychically, no, yeah.
A week and a half before we ever went anywhere, she would start misbehaving. And the week she got back, so she was giving me a clear. So at some point, I said to my husband, "Okay, now we're not going to do that anymore, because this is obviously she." I figured that one out.
It is, and kudos to you, because what you just figured out was, I'm going to honor where Chloe is. You know what? Would I want to be around all those yapping dogs? Yeah, that are not controlled. I mean, I picture it because I'm connected with Chloe right now. This is Sugar. This is one of the six. I'm going to move my cord. He has a habit of joining me whenever I'm being interviewed. It's amazing. He's a good boy. No, but seriously, our animals will respond to our energies. Now, yeah, we all get a little stressful, but if we're constantly living in stress and we never take time to go, "Ooh, okay, I want to come back to this present moment," and understand that our animals are here to teach us to live in the present moment, and that the material world is truly just a material world, but that we are all dimensional beings, and that's where the magic happens. That's where we learn how to live in joy and calmness, light, love.
No, I totally agree. I want you to know that during the time, and this is just interesting, Chloe was getting really old at 2020 when we had the COVID, right, for her age. But then I knew she would stay. That I knew. I knew she was going to stay through the whole COVID thing. I just felt it. We were so bonded. We were all at home. She had all the family here. It was special, and she was part of us. So I think I don't know how other people feel about the time they had pets who are listening to this with COVID, but I feel like really bonded during that time with Chloe.
Yeah, there, in a sense, when COVID came, people could either look at it as a gift or they could look at it as not a gift. And I feel most animal lovers look at it as a gift because, especially when they brought in either a kitten or a puppy, or they got another horse or bunnies or fish, whatever, they were like, I have time, right? And it really helped. I know it helped a lot. And I was super busy too during COVID. But I do want to say and share one thing, and that is when we use the term my pet died versus my pet transitioned or left the body, there is a difference because nothing ever dies. When animals leave the physical body, they transform, if you will, they transition, if you will, into total consciousness. Are they with our other animals that have passed and maybe even other humans? Absolutely. They're all together. And they never, it's really cool. I had a reading and with this one dog, and she was showing me that there's a room that she went into so that she could be with her human's brother, because her human's brother physically left. Her name is Greta the cat. Powerful. And her brother came through in the reading. It was powerful. So, and I can't make this stuff up. And when I shared it with Greta's human, with her mom, she went, "Oh my God, that's my brother." I said, "Yeah, and he's there with her, and it's all as well." And since then, since that reading, since our follow-up with Greta's mom, the human, because I got to differentiate between animal and human, especially when the animal has a human name. She totally now talks to Greta in spirit. She gets messages and signals from Greta. Things move in the house, and she knows it's Greta. She can feel Greta's fur on her face. She shared so many different nuances.
I know you shared with me that you can even hear them scratch, because when Chloe passed, the lady who lives with us, she heard her scratch that week the door like she used to. Yeah, it was kind of bizarre because she had told me that and then you said that. I was like, oh wow.
The reason why is because it has to do with frequency. When a human is relaxed and going about their business, and or just putting the good thought, the intention, I am open to receiving any message. And usually if it's like people love seeing feathers, people love seeing rainbows, people love receiving coins or smelling something. Maybe it's food, maybe it's a flower, maybe it's a perfume, maybe it's an oil, whatever. If a person has a favorite and they ask for that, the animal knows that and will abide by that and show them that. That is when a human is on the same frequency as their pet in spirit, and they will get the message intuitively, and it'll come through either as a feeling or a dream, or they'll physically see something, they'll pick it up. Like, how many people have seen a red feather, right?
That's funny because this week I did have a dream about Chloe, so then I knew Chloe was on my frequency. And it was very real.
Exactly. You're on the same frequency. And dreams, but see, dreams are super powerful because why does it happen more for most people in dreams is because the brain waves have totally slowed down so that you're not in the matter world. You're not in the 3D world. You're dimensional. You are in the quantum field, if you will, the energy of, or the space of where consciousness, your consciousness is connected with, in this case, with Chloe's consciousness. And so she knew, oh, my mom will get this message and wake up really refreshed.
I do want to mention that I don't know for any of you who have pets, like I'm sure you realize this, that how psychic they are, because they always know things way before. I mean, even scary things, like they act weird, like before something bad happens, they can act really weird like a day before, and you're like, what is happening? And before Chloe died, I can tell she knew.
In fact, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, I did a reading for Ivory the dog, and Ivory's human wanted to know, what's wrong with her. She had all of these physical issues, including seizures, and she was rushing her to the vets, another special vet, and the anxiety was very, very high. And one of the things that was going through was, the human wanted to know, is it time? And Ivory was like, oh, no, it is not time. This is what this is what my mama needs to know. And it was all about the human calming down, staying grounded, not worrying, and that she needed to really slow down and be patient. In addition to that, the weather was really bad, and Ivory made it so that the human didn't get into the car to go visit her because she was already at the vet's, at an emergency vet, and she was overnight. And the human wanted to get in the car and go visit her. And she said, she later showed me, if she did, she would have gotten into a really bad car accident that would have not have turned out well. And when I shared this with the human, she said, oh my God, I was going out driving and something told me not to do that. And that Ivory would wait for me in the morning. Powerful. It's powerful. And so, yes, our animals, look, there's so many research out there. Let me fix my camera here. There's so much proof out there that animals save humans' lives. We've got search dogs. We have fire dogs. I mean, we're talking extreme, and they know. We've got people who are diabetic. We got people who are epileptic. We got people that are blind, right? They've got challenges. They've got life challenges. Who do they look towards for keeping them safe, comfortable, and constant love? Right? They're animals that save them. It's powerful.
Let's talk about when they transition. Okay. When they transition, let's say that is painful, of course, for everyone. There is this whole thing of how you let an animal go, and that was really hard for me. But it also is not really fair that they're in so much pain, because it's really, really not easy to figure out. Like in a human, we can exactly say, right, what's going on. So a lot of times people do like let their pets go earlier, or they do it like I had to do it because Chloe was suffering and there was nothing I could do. And so we eased her transition, as they say. I guess it's very similar when we give adults morphine. It's very, very similar because we do that. I'm a nurse, so we do that in the hospital. But can you share about that? Because a lot of people, we do, if you own an animal and they're your pet, you're going to get to that point eventually to make that decision, I think.
So with all of the animals that I've spoken with in spirit, they've all shared with me, yep, I knew exactly. My mom or my dad or my sister, or, because some animals look at their human as a sister or a brother as opposed to a mom or a dad. Anyway, my human knew exactly. They got the message. Meaning, they intuitively, whether they're going, oh, I'm intuitively getting them at, no, it's in their heart that they're going, you know what? I don't want to see my cat suffer anymore. The quality of life is not there. And I get the feeling they know it, and I don't want them to be in any more pain. What that human is expressing or receiving is the actual message from the animal telling them. Oh my God, it's powerful. One of my cats, Starlight, she left the body last October. And I asked her, I knew her circumstance. I knew what was going on energetically wise. She was 12 and a half, and her kidney and liver were failing. And she didn't want medication. So I was like, I'm going to honor that. Anyway, I asked her, I said, do you want to stay home, or do you want me to take you to the vets? She goes, home. That's where I'm going to be. And then she looked at one of my other cats named Story, and she said, Story's going to help me. And this was, I don't know, maybe 10 days before she actually left the body. And there's Story was laying right next to her, helping her as I was laying and sitting with Starlight as she transitioned. And it was very powerful, it's all in grace. It was so loving. And I want to recommend and I want to share, if anyone who's watching this is in this process, please don't blame yourself. Don't feel guilty. Don't be angry. Let it go and just be in love. Think of the beautiful moments. And I'll tell you this, your animal doesn't want you to remember them in their bodies the way they look at that time. They want you to remember them full of life, even as a kitten or a puppy or whenever in their lifespan in the physical body. And that's one of the other reasons why many times when animals are getting ready to transition, they may even show signs of they get up, they get all excited, they go drink or they go and eat or they ask to go out or they go use the pan. And it's like, whoa, oh my God, you're recovering, you're coming back. And then either a couple hours, minutes, or even days, they do make the transition. The reason why they do that is a message that they're telling their human and the family there, especially for the children. That's how they want them to remember them by, not by the depleted physical body, but that energetic, loving animal that they know who's there. It's so bad. Animals are just so smart. They're so smart, which is, again, that's one of the reasons why we're so gravitated to having animals in our life, because what do? They teach us unconditionally. They love us unconditionally. And that is one of the biggest life lessons. And part of our soul contract with them is to learn, not just, yeah, I know how to love. I know how to love unconditionally. My animal taught me that. And then they turn around, they scream and yell at the cashier for giving them not all the change back. Hello. But the point is that our animals really, they come to us to teach us, but they also come to us because they want to experience beautiful things. Maybe the animal has experienced trauma or abuse before coming into their forever home, right? They're a forever human, and they need to experience that unconditional love. So and when we really understand the power of unconditional things, we then no longer hold on to those emotions. We have different belief systems. And that's one of the reasons why when people have animal communication sessions, they realize the old belief system for themselves could be one concept, like, oh my God, I don't take time out for self-care. I purposely go to work and don't come home until late because I don't want to deal with my life at home. Well, that's a belief system. That's powerful. But when when a person can say, right, I've been doing that. Oh my God. And they thank their animal and spirit. Wow, everything changes for the human, as well as the relationship with their animal and spirit. So it's very powerful.
Well, that's so amazing. I agree completely. I have yeah, when you were saying all that, I was like getting chills because I do think this is very important that we understand. And I know some animals can, just like humans, are vulnerable to trauma or traumatic events. And so that's another reason to talk. If your animal's not happy or you notice something, it's good to get an animal communication session, right?
Absolutely. I spoke with this one dog, and it was really powerful because as soon as I asked him, because physically in the body, being very, very lethargic, didn't want to socialize. And I said, what's going on? He says, I cannot stand the thumping and the heavy footsteps, pound, 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 all throughout the house, and there's so much anger. And the humans were just, "Bah, bah, bah." And I was like, yeah, okay. It's like, I will share this. I will share this. And then I asked the dog, I said, can you tell me, because you know you're human, what would you like your human to do? And he said, tell her that it's his own problem that she's arguing with. That's his problem. Don't be caught up in it and just chill out with me. And she went, oh my God, I understand that totally. And it helped. And the dog is now fine. Dog's fine. But it goes back to, our soul contracts, what we've agreed upon to experience.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
So a soul contract is a mutual agreement between a human and an animal. We have soul contracts with all the humans in our life. And I'm telling you, it goes from the time you were born till the present moment. It also goes in the past, meaning we've had soul contracts in the past with different our different lifetimes. And how many lifetimes have we all had? And have our animals been with us in previous lives? Yes. I'll leave that at that. But soul contracts is what we mutually agree to have challenges in our life to learn from. Maybe in this lifetime, we really haven't gotten that unconditional love yet. And we've been here many cycles. Or in this life cycle, we really know we got, I keep hearing unconditional love, but I still don't get it. I try, I love my animal, but then I get pissed off at the postal service or the UPS because they don't deliver it to my house, they deliver it the street down. These contracts or these agreements are always shown to us through our challenges. And many times animals will come into our life at the exact time we need it. Now, we might not realize it, we might realize it. Doesn't matter. What matters is that we all start learning to be more conscious of how we think, how we feel, why we're here, what we need to learn, so that we can become conscious beings, so that we can be beings, because we already are. Everyone is beautiful. Everyone is full of light. We all don't just feel that or know that yet. We because of our belief system, because of our life patterns that we've created, and we get stuck. But there's one other concept I think is so important, and that is in that soul contract and in that understanding of our challenges. It's very important to understand that our animals, like I said, they do want to experience things with us, but to be able to acknowledge, yes, I am a conscious being. I am a dimensional being. Yes, I have to live here in this body, but that's not 100% of life. Life is living, knowing that you are light, you are beautiful. And this everybody calls it a gift. Animal communicator, pet psychic, intuitive, mediumship, psychics, whether they're connecting with animals or other spirits outside of the animal world. It is not a gift. God, it is an ability. We are all born innately with being intuitive and psychic. We are all born like this. It's just a matter of understanding. We're all born with this, that telepathy is a universal language. It is a universal language. I mean, you're going to get a text message because you just feel it. And that day you get, oh my God, I was just thinking about you. Wow, that's really cool. Or you knew before we started this recording, your husband's probably going to call me. Boom, he called you. We are all intuitive beings. And when we really embrace that, and then we dive in deeper and understand what belief system, what things in our life are not resonating for us, keeping us locked into the past ways that we think and feel. And again, our animals can help us, they're fantastic mentors to show us this.
Well, they can, I think, like you said, they help us be in the present moment, right?
Oh my, all the time.
That's where we are powerful creators, because when we're in the future and the past, we have no power. So I think Chloe for sure helped me to be in the moment. So that was really important.
Oh my God. And she's so grateful for those life experiences. And I've shared with you, she is no longer in pain. She is jumping up and down for joy. She's like, why'd you take the Christmas decorations down so fast?
I always did that. That's funny.
I know. Like I said, before we started, I asked if I could connect with her while we're doing this interview, just in case something she wanted to share. She wanted to share that.
That's so cute. Well, sorry. I had so much to do. She'll be laughing.
No apologize. It's not when animals come through like that and they're giving us information, it's not about asking for apology. They don't live in that vibration. They don't live like that. They don't live in those emotions. It's about acknowledging, I'm watching you. I'm right here. So we can talk anytime. Because again,
I'm
when our
with you,
when
right?
our
I'm with you. Like I felt
I'm
that in
with
my
you. Yeah.
dream. She was watching
Yeah.
me. She was looking at me, looking back like this, but she was like, we're together still. Like it was very nice. So I think that was kind of special. But I have a couple things. We don't have much more time, but I was wondering about, you had mentioned reincarnation. So obviously that is something people have to connect with if they believe that. But what has been your experience with that when you give reading?
Oh, it's real. Reincarnation is real. I mean, if humans can reincarnate, why can't animals? I know many believe, no, animals don't reincarnate. Okay, but that's a belief system. And in many of my readings, I've had humans in their questionnaire that they fill out, is my Maddie going to come back to me? So when I'm connecting with Maddie, the dog, Maddie says, and she tells me what the soul contract is all about and the life lessons and what's going on with the human. Many times, and in this case, Maddie did say, yes, I am going to be coming back. Oh, and the human, in the follow-up was like, when? No, Maddie was very clear. When the human understands the next phase or the next life challenge that she's ready to really address that she didn't with me, that's one circumstance that an animal will reincarnate to help. And they can come back looking identical. They can come back totally different species. And they can come back. Of course, the way to know if your animal has reincarnated is they will show you identical personality. They will have traits that are just spot on the same. They will also respond to their original name that you provided or they told you that to call them before they left the body. Great example, and I'll be real quick with this. This is like 3 years ago now. I'm doing live readings on social media, and I do them here, and I also do them on TikTok. And in one of the readings, one of my social media friends, her name is Shauna, said, oh, my cat's watching you right now. And I said, oh. And I said, oh, is your cat black? And she said, yes. And I said, oh, would you do me a favor? And all of a sudden, I'm just getting bombarded with Midnight, the name Midnight, Midnight. Well, Midnight was my childhood cat that was a feral cat, came into the house once in a while. He only would come to me. He only talked with me. Everybody thought I was crazy, like, oh, get that cat away from me. I was like, don't worry, he won't come to you. So don't worry. Anyway, and I said, Shauna, would you please call your cat Midnight and see what he does? And she said, sure, but that's not his name. I said, I know that's not his name. She did. She, again, she can only text. And she said, oh my God, he started pushing the phone down. And her cat never did that until this time. And he's like, and he's like getting to the phone. I was like, yeah, thank you, Midnight. And I started internally having a conversation. I said, Shauna, when I'm done this live, I'm going to call you, message me. I'll give you my phone number. You call me so we can talk on the phone. And I explained to her. And ever since then, I have video clips of him watching me, even to this day when I go live. And he responds.
That's too cute. Well, it's so amazing your work. So you offer services. Tell us, I know you offer these communication sessions. What else do you offer? And where are you going to be professionally? What is your future?
My whole goal, my whole passion is to share all of this information and help as many beings, help as many people as I can understand that what they think and feel about their animals, they're not crazy, and that they really can start healing. They got to do the inner work, and that their animal is there to help them, regardless of the imbalances. And that I just want to open and awaken as many people as possible to their true abilities. And it doesn't mean becoming an animal communicator, although I do have clients
I
that
can imagine.
already,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it just means awaken in your life. If you want to do animal communication, fantastic. I provide coaching, private coaching. I have group
Where
coaching.
you help people who are interested in that. Great.
Learning to communicate with
And you'll put
animals.
that in the link below.
Mhm.
Great.
Yep. I also have reike sessions. They're 1 hour sessions and they're fantastic. And in my animal communication session, I offer a full session and then I offer a mini session. Mini is just one question. And a lot of my minis become full animals because they come back and go, okay, I got to do the full one.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. But I also have free resources that I encourage your beautiful viewers to download. I have a beautiful meditation that will help everyone connect with both their animals physically here as well as in spirit. I have that 12-tip PDF that addresses how to talk with your animal with any and all circumstance. And it really does create a perspective for you, if you will, of understanding, yeah, I had a really bad day at work and I came home and my animal went and hid under the couch and didn't come out until after dinner. There's a reason. And then also I have intuitive exercises, but I also have a community, and in that community, you have an opportunity to not just learn how to communicate with animals, but we go through my 5-step program. Now, if you choose to do this one-to-one private, you have that option as well. So it's powerful.
The 5-step program is to learn how to communicate with animals.
And to help yourself heal, to become an intuitive person. Now, if you want to take your abilities to, maybe you want a new job. Maybe you want to work in a rescue center. Maybe you just want to have a better connection with your fur babies. It doesn't matter.
No, but this is wonderful. This is so wonderful. So we'll put all that in the links below. And I just want to say to our audience, so animals are such a big part of our health and wellness. They are so much a part of our life and they help us so much. And I really want to thank you, Delsa, from the bottom of my heart for not only what you did for me, but what you do for so many.
You are so welcome. It is all my honor, and I hope to help as many people as possible.
Oh, thank you.